Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining. This is TapsTrades. We are back with another VV drop. We're going to be talking about Buzz Lightyear. So this is an interesting one because we do want to discuss this in the fact that none of them are animated, which is kind of new, right? But it does make sense kind of for what we saw on the previous Pixar drops, how none of them were animated. But this is unique. We were kind of expecting one of them to be animated, at least the ultra rare, kind of like what we saw with Boba Fett and several others, where at least, there's one that is animated when it's dropped in threes. So you go ahead and share my screen and we will get into it. Good morning, everyone who is hopping in. Whoa, that's too big for me. Don, thoughts on Wire partnership? So Wire was the one that mentioned about how you could basically go from, was it crypto to fiat? Or remind me on what that was, just because I did see something about it, but I've been absolutely swamped with a lot of different things lately. And so let's take a look. I remember seeing Wire handles cash out, the bank receives the funds. Did Wire or your bank tell you that VV is refusing to give them your funds to cash you out or have taken your money? Unless that's the case, are they the ones that handles the cash out into crypto? Yeah, it didn't work for me. I contacted Wire, or they're just the main one that handles. So I know there's been some issues with the cash out. Curious on what your question is a little bit more on that, Don. Let me know. But I mean, I haven't really looked that much into Wire just because I did cash out once, but after that, everything worked okay. And I did see those issues. So not sure on that. But let's go ahead and discuss today's drop a little bit. We're going to be talking about the Lightyear movie. We're going to be actually discussing, is this one worth it? We're going to be talking about some other announcements from Veve. We're going to be talking about the crypto markets. And we're actually going to talk a little bit about stocks because stocks actually do have some effect on crypto. In fact, usually when stocks dip, crypto dips. When stocks are going up, crypto goes up. And stocks are going up. So I want to talk a little bit about, if you are a crypto investor, if you're an Omi investor, kind of what I think is going to happen over the next few months, and then what's going to happen following those few months. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do, let's go ahead and get into the Lightyear drop. This is one that I like the look of it, but I do have some thoughts about how it's going to handle in the market. So what is going on, JQ? Thanks for hopping in here. What's good, fam? Michael Howard, good morning. Don, crypto to fiat. Thank you for that. So crypto directly to fiat. So appreciate you helping me that. Skip this drop. 88 Kenny is calling it. This is a skipped drop. And so usually I like to be a little bit of a degenerate, a little bit of a gambler, if you would, and try to gamble and go for an ultra rare on a drop that I know is going to do well. This is one of those that I don't know if this is going to be worth it. In fact, I am kind of there with 88 Kenny in that I don't think it makes sense to risk it and go for the ultra rare. And we're going to talk about that. Before we do, just for those of you who are going to go for it, we have a ritual here. You want to go to profile, you want to go to settings, you want to go to my files, and you want to remove all downloaded files. You're now clear. You're good to go. We then can see we have 35 minutes left of this drop. Let's talk about this drop real quick. This is Disney and Pixar's Lightyear. So this is the Alpha Suit series. This is based on the movie. And it says Lightyear NFT collection celebrates Disney and Lightyear's a sci-fi action adventure and a definitive origin story of Buzz Lightyear, the hero who inspired the toy, rendered is in full color detail. These collectibles are a must-have addition to the Pixar fans showroom. It is a good-looking collectible. I'm not going to lie. The actual details of it look pretty solid. Now, this exclusive drop celebrates the star of Disney and Pixar's June 2022 film release, Lightyear. If you did see, they did have the like 1,000 people or something that were able to win the what looks like a magnet or a sticker to me. The actual ones tied to the movie in was either Cinemark or AMC were not very solid. Those who got them, yeah, they're rare, but they weren't what we expected them to be. This offering of original 3D, yeah. So I hope that this is the only drop from the series, right? If they dropped like the cat or the other characters, they're not going to do too well. Because also one thing about this movie is it bombed at the box office. And when I say bombed, I mean, you look, it had a $200 million production budget and it grossed 222 million worldwide. So it basically broke even, is my understanding. For a Disney Pixar movie, that's not very good in the standards of when they put out a movie. And that's a lot of work to basically net even. And that's gross too. So actually, I guess they didn't they didn't come out even. But yeah, so this movie did not do well in theaters. I did not see it. I love Disney Pixar. I do plan on watching it when it comes to Disney Plus, but I didn't see it. Let me know if you did see it in the comments, what you thought of it. There's a lot of new interesting characters to it. I didn't have enough draw to actually go to the movie theater. In fact, it takes a lot for me to now go into a movie theater and watch a movie. I think the last one I saw was Jurassic World. That's because of all of our community getting together. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about this drop. Let's get a little bit more into it real quick. Let's go. Sniper Pain Correction. Good morning. I don't understand how this is FA Buzz, but when our Buzz comes, it won't be FA. Feel like they messed this one up. So it is FA Buzz, and the reason why is because the other version that came out was a sticker, right? So one thing they've set up before that separates first edition from first appearance is it has to be the character form and not like an inanimate object, right? So it was like a sticker or magnet or whatever that dropped with the AMC or Cinemark partnership. So that was a first edition. This is the first appearance of the actual character form, model, figure. And so that's why this is the FA. So yeah, it's an FA in that, kind of matters. But then all we have to do is look at Woody and see how well he did. And when you look at Woody, there was a total 14,000 dropped, which is a lot, right? But it also dropped at also $60. It dropped during a bull market where it shot all the way up to over like $350, which is crazy. I'm sorry if someone paid $350 for this. And now it's down to $70. Now, this is the total edition size of 14,000, though. It's only one and done as FA Woody. There's only one form, and it's probably the best form they could have put him in, right? You now have Buzz Lightyear in, let's see, 8,000, 13,000, 14,000. So less editions than Woody, but it's 3 different versions cut up. So if you were to cut up Woody into 3 different versions at $70, then you'd have to rate these at like $15, $20, $35. But arguably Buzz Lightyear, I don't know. I like Woody more, but I would think that Buzz Lightyear would be the more popular character. And I don't think it's going to be like $15, $20, or $35. But I do think that the ultra rare is going to go under retail. And I think it's going to, I think it's either going to stay at retail or it's going to drop at as low as $50. So that's why this is a risk. And when you look back at the odds, so you have a 1 in 1.81 chance of actually getting the, sorry, hold on a second. I'll come back to you, Sniper. You have a 1 in 1 chance of getting the common, a 1 in 3 chance on the rare, and a 1 in 8 on the ultra rare. That is not good odds. So because I do think that, and I could be wrong, but there's also a lot of negative EV sentiment right now. So a lot of the prices have dropped. When you look at the Boba Fett that is animated, it's at $210 right now. So the fact that none of this is animated, and I think the ultra rare looks the best, I don't think it's going to hold up to retail standards. So I do think that the common will drop down to probably about, I'm going to say, how many are there? 8,000. I'm going to say about $15. The rare I'm going to say is going to be about, he's in an action pose. Yeah, so $15 to $20, $15 to $20, $50 to $60. That's my price prediction on this. Curious what you guys think is going to do on this. I don't even know if this is going to sell out. It may, just because it is Pixar, but curious what you guys think. I don't understand how this FA, but we talked about that. Previously was FE, now FA. Oh, they switched it. That's good to know. Michael Pavolka says they were better off dropping one pose if there won't be an anime version. I completely agree, Michael. That's when you look at the other Pixar, yeah, there was 5 dropped in it, but it was 5 of different characters, right? So you had Cars, Lightning McQueen, you had Edna Mode, you had Woody, you had all these, the Up House, all these characters that were just themselves in FAs, and that was it, right? So I agree with you. Like, if you're not going to make one of these animated, which I feel like Buzz Lightyear, he should be animated, right? Like, whether it's just like his Infinity to Beyond move, like where he just goes like that, or maybe he flies off, or it's one of them is like opening of his helmet or talking to Star Command, set phasers or whatever. Like, there's so many ways they could have made this animated and really capitalized on this drop. And because they didn't, I don't think it's going to do as well. The original 90 Buzz should have come first and been FA. I do agree with you. I do prefer that version over this younger Lightyear version. What's up, Bill? Thanks for joining us. Common and Uncommon will be again under retail. It's a disgrace, I would say. The markets are down, the sentiment is down, and people are going for an ultra rare and then flipping and selling what they spent $60 on way low. I don't know why people are still choosing to do that. I was just thinking Taps hasn't done a video in like 10 days. Bill, yeah. I've been working my ass off. We just had our end of quarter, and literally like the lack of sleep, and just when you finish like a long day and you're like, okay, do I have the bandwidth? Do I have the ability to now put in research and spend, 5+ hours on making a video after I've already plugged so much of my day in? And then on weekends, I'm doing anything to escape it. So yeah, it's been an absolute bear on my schedule. So I haven't had a chance to do videos. I would like to, and I think my schedule is finally opening up again, but they keep throwing curveballs at me. I want to see it with my 6-year-old daughter, and had to explain to her how it's not possible for moms to have a baby. What? I haven't seen it yet, but I'm curious. I'm curious what you mean on that, Bill. To have a baby, I'm skipping it. 89.8% of 354 people voted to skip this drop in Veve Vault's Twitter survey. I agree. So what my plan is I'm going to be waiting, and then I'm going to be watching the market on the secondary. I would like to grab this one if I could. But I think with this, the FOMO is going to be pretty much like either you can grab it quick for really cheap if someone just tanks one, or you should wait a few days, because people will forget about this drop when the next big drop comes. And I think probably there's going to be a big drop in the next probably week or two. And I talk about that because we do have some drops coming up, but I don't think they're actually big drops in terms of what the community wants. So if I would actually want to snag this one for like $15. Sure. I do like Buzz Lightyear, and I do like this pose better than this pose. This pose is obviously the best, but I'm not sure if I want to spend 50 gems on it when I could spend that towards something else. And what's coming up now, and I'm not hating on any of these drops. I'm just thinking about what's the best bang for your buck. Like, how are you going to spend money in gems in this app? And we do have more drops coming that are specific to VVDCon. You'll see this happens August 6th, starting on Saturday. I'll probably stream these. Actually, what am I doing this weekend? I'll probably stream these. But we have Sket One. We have Allison Bamcat. Allison Bamcat's really cool. Happy to see her join the platform. I didn't meet her in person. Tara McPherson has another drop coming. There's a lot of Tara McPherson fans. It's probably going to be the better of all these drops. Sket One is the exact same figure, just now multicolored. I don't know why they do that. I'm not a fan of that. Just come up with something that's new to the artist versus something that's we've already seen that's now just tie-dyed. Mark Bricky and a podcast. So Haven't a chance to go through those, but they're, San Diego Comic-Con, those drops did well, at least most of them. And so I think that we're overdue for something that's kind of big, but Boba Fett was solid. Boba Fett surprised me and it did very well for the most part, but it's, the common didn't hold up very well. The uncommon did not hold up very well. But the obviously ultra rare is still over retail and it just looks great. What's up, Taps? So after the KYC deadline, many thought floors would go back up. I was surprised to see a lot of collectibles even lower. Any thoughts on why we see a rise in markets? Cheers. So I think why we would see a rise in markets wouldn't be because everyone's KYC'd. In fact, I think there's going to be growing pains because of that KYC. I do think that helps long term. But if you think about it, it does help completely wipe out, not completely wipe out, but it does significantly wipe out most of the bots. Now, when you think about that, it's like we were still having bot activity during like these larger drops, right? We saw it during Darth Vader. We saw it during the ones that there was actually a lot of buildup for. We saw it during Silver Surfer. And so they were still getting in. Now, there's still loopholes. There's always going to be a loophole. We're always going to have bots. But it's so much harder now that does have all of them selling off collectibles. And it just makes sense why the market's dipped. I do think that things will start to rise in the market when we have like New York Comic-Con again, which is in October. But also there's going to just need bigger drops. We need to be more positive sentiment again around this. We did actually just recently see a video. Ruru Marin, she and her husband are absolutely amazing. I've met them twice at Decon, the kickoff party and the original Decon. But she did show that in this magazine, they did an entire talk about NFTs, which highlighted Veve. Boom. And it's all in Japanese. Yes. Yep. Most amazing Japanese magazine articles of NFTs. I had to look, and I actually took 2 years of Japanese, and I do not remember kanji very well. I do remember some of my hiragana and katakana, but you can see it's an entire article devoted to them. Now, I do believe that Ruru Marin and Wendy Lopez did have help in making this happen. My only thing is, why didn't we wait for localization before putting out an entire piece that is going to rally a Japanese market? I love the fact that they did this, though. Big shout out to Ruru Marin for doing this. But I think this is really awesome to see that in Japanese magazines, #1 recommended Veve NFTs is really cool. And so when we do get something like localization, that will rally the markets. When we do get some lead up to the Veveverse, that will rally the actual Veve market. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's see, we've got 20 minutes left to go. I actually want to talk a little bit about crypto markets as well, because an Omi price, because I think that's going to be something to watch for over this next month. And I think we're going to start to see a mini rally, but let's talk a little bit more about that here in a second. So I'm curious what you guys are going to do. I'm going to be skipping it. I'm going to be going for the secondary market. Let's see. Fox Gamer says, what's up, Fox Gamer? Yeah, this may be a skip. I do think so. Bill Gardner says, I get having two moms, but the movie made it seem like two moms created baby. Oh, okay, got it. So there's two moms in the movie. Thanks for the clarification, Bill. Comment is going under 20. Joe says Ultra 70. Okay. So you think the Ultra is going to match Woody? I mean, it could, because there's only 2022, right? So there's a lot less than the one Woody. I just think the sentiment's different now. I just think that it's going to stick around 50 or 60. I'm curious, who's more popular? Who is more popular, Buzz or Woody? Woody. Buzz is clearly better as a toy. Woody. So just as a quick glance, it looks like Woody's more popular, but we'll see how it does. Again, I think this will either stay at retail or go slightly under. We should have had the wings pop out. Yes, helmet open, laser beam, blinking lights. I agree, completely sniper paint correction. My man, what's up, Jack? It's good to see you, Taps. Hope you've been well. What you've been up to the last few weeks. Also, how was that wedding? Dude, The wedding was a lot of fun. I actually did a pretty funny video that I need to get out on TikTok with my Veve collectibles. I think that you guys will appreciate. Which if you don't follow me on TikTok, every once in a while I do post something. It's just TapsTrades on TikTok. I'm always playing my Veve collectibles or doing something kind of fun with them. It was great though, man. That was a good little breakaway. I've been working my face off. That's pretty much it for me. 13% chance to hit your ultra rare. Yikes! I know it's a rough gamble. Big pass from Vitalik Namoto says, glad you're doing well. See ya at Decon. Yes, Palace Brandon Z. What's up, Brandon Z? The little change the name. I like it. TapsTrades. What is up, J. Co? Would love to see us go back to non-blind box format. Really? Man, me too, only because I'm pretty fast on the trigger in terms of hitting that buy now button. But yeah, I mean, man, that's the first person I've heard say that, but good to know, Gino. Cyberpaint says AF15 September 10th. Ooh, he's calling it. Marvel Comics celebrates Spider-Man at D23. Has to be the date. Yeah, so D23 is coming in that time frame. There's a lot happening around that time frame, so it is possible. I hope we see Amazing 15 at that time, but we shall see. We have 17 minutes left to go. That's okay because we have quite a few other things to discuss. I just wish it was original. I agree, Dominic. I know but it's tied to the movie. They're trying to promote it. It didn't do well in theaters. I get it. Design and not the one from the new movie. So yeah, I mean, Pixar is going to promote what they want to promote, right? It's not really. It seems like it's not really up to Veve when it comes to this large of a license. It's cool. They are releasing the NFT the same day it goes live on Disney Plus. Oh, it's coming live on Disney Plus today, huh? I did not realize that. So cool. I'll watch it later today. Thank you for that Dollar Scholar. Shane Buzz isn't animated. I agree. Hope to pick a Buzz under retail and maybe enjoy the film with the kids. Same. When do you see a revival in floor prices? Maybe longer term after localization or celebrity endorsements. I hope to see new categories such as board games, gamification, or sports to attract new users. So yeah, I think when we do get new verticals, that would help. I think localization would immensely help. I think that New York Comic Con will help. Like those Comic Con events do help. We did see a pump in our collectibles, but I do also think that the markets are going to have an effect because when people actually are spending money, that does kind of translate into the NFT space. So we'll talk about that actually right now. Tagged you translation of this on Twitter Taps. Shout out to Yoshi for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'll actually read that. It's a skip for me. Woody was one pose, 3 poses with no animation. I'll wait and buy later. I completely agree, Stroker. Buzz landed a solo movie first. I don't know if that's a good comparison. Yeah, but Woody's kind of the main star of the Toy Story franchise, right? Big up, Tass. What's up, Danny? Happy to see you in here, man. So let's talk a little bit about the markets because actually this is going to tie a little bit into the NFT prices and the sentiment in our collection. So again, we did take a look at Woody, who is held up to over retail price, but again, that is just one version versus 3 versions and one that's not even animated. So that's why I do think that if you were to split up this price of $70 and apply it to Buzz, you'd see that Buzz shouldn't be worth as high. But then again, the ultra rare does only have 2022 versus this 14,000. One thing I did want to talk about is Omi price and what it is doing in the market. It has kind of been it obviously went up for a while and then kind of bounced up a bunch. And that was back when Bitcoin was around 24K and kind of holding steady around there for a while. So for quite a few days, it was kind of bouncing around 0.002 all the way down to 0.007 and then just bouncing back up. But now it's gone into a little bit of a negative trend. And it's bouncing around this low, but Bitcoin did drop down to 22K-ish. But now it's actually going back up. And when you look at the traditional markets, they've actually been doing really well. My stock portfolio is shooting back up, which is good because I was buying a little bit of stocks, at least select ones on the bottom. And I actually did pretty well on a couple of select stocks. But when you look at the S&P 500, we obviously fell into a big dip. And that's where we saw Bitcoin absolutely drop. It dropped all the way down to what, 17K? This is what, June 16th. And if you're not sure about how the crypto markets correlate with the traditional stock markets, you should pay attention to them because they're always a good sign of seeing what is happening overall. June 18th. And this is actually incorrect. It did drop down to like into 17K range. And that followed the traditional markets. As we could see, June 16th was the bottom for S&P 500. And it has since started to rally back up. And it's been rallying pretty significantly over the past 2 weeks. More a week, though, because what happened is the Fed came out. They only did 75 basis points. They said we're not in a recession, even though technically, when you have 2 negative quarters of GDP, negative growth, it's a recession. However, there's also another technical term that when you look at it, it has to have unemployment spiking. Like there's all these different things, and unemployment is staying low. So they said they are not recognizing it as a recession, that they feel like the markets are going to actually do much better. And so my theory is that the stock market is actually going to do pretty well because the Fed, there's no more FOMC meetings until September. And what's going to happen is Ethereum 2.0 is expected to release the merge in September, like mid-September. So I think there's going to be a mini rally from now, or at least a week ago, up until probably mid-September, maybe even past that. And we're going to probably, it could actually go well into October. So I think crypto is going to actually kind of go up. So this is a good time, if you haven't already purchased in my opinion, not financial advice, to place some bets. And I did buy Ethereum because I do think back when it was like 1,200, also a little bit at 1,000. And so it's gone up, right? And we've seen that it's actually held up pretty well. It's been sitting around that 1,500 to 1,700 range. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be buying this up leading up to the merge. And what that will do is it will have effect on OMI as well. So something to consider there is that OMI has been bouncing around, but there's been no news, right? OMI is a significant token in the fact that it doesn't really move unless there's catalysts. We're still expecting that OUP article. We're still waiting on staking. We're still waiting on exchanges, which I did hear that there was actually 2 smaller exchanges that either Rebel or Renegade listed them. I didn't see what they were though. But yeah, so we're going to need to see some actual catalysts from this in order for OMI in crypto to act, or for OMI to actually continue to rally up. But I do think this is, in my opinion, I love Veve. I love playing the collectibles, but I think OMI is one of the most slept on cryptocurrencies in the space, and it has a lot of ability to move up because it's only still on 5 exchanges. And they're gonna need to actually put some really solid token strategy into this to actually get this token to rally up significantly. It needs to be on like 20, 25 exchanges or paired listing, right? Where you could actually use, OMI USDT or USDC, but it has to have some actual variety, just like Dogecoin and Ethereum and all these other, top 10, top 20 crypto, for it to actually go up that high, because you need to be able to buy it in all these different areas. And the fact that you can only buy it on select areas, that's not going to do it long term. So I think that's part of their strategy and why they're waiting. They're going to be actually hopefully dropping collective. So that's my thought on the crypto markets. I think we're going to actually go a little bit into a mini bull run coming up soon, if we're not already in it. And I've been seeing stocks all day, continuing all day, the past couple days go up, which means that the crypto markets should continue up as well. What's Bitcoin at right now? The Bitcoin's been a little bit more resistant actually over the past couple of days, which is kind of interesting, even though the S&P 500 has been rallying up over the past 5 days. It did drop a little bit yesterday, but back up. And it's showing strength, which is good. So let's go back to our drop and make sure that we're not going to miss it. 9 minutes left to go. Let's talk a little bit about this one. Dynamic, the description of the ultra rare is curious. It's... yeah, in this dynamic 3D full color figure. I think it's because he's in an action mode. I'm wondering if they'll put maybe some of his lights blink up or something. Maybe you click on him and his visor goes up. They could do something like that, but it's not truly animated, right? It doesn't show any animation there. Like kind of like with the Flash Superman battle statue, where we saw it wasn't animated, and then when you got it, you could see that there was like a glow to the electricity of the Flash's feet. Maybe they could do something like that with this one once it's received, but we'll see. Good catch though. Good catch, Riley. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button, fam. I appreciate you. You know, even though we're not going for this drop, I wanted to hop on with you guys just to kind of talk about it, because I think with this kind of drop, if you want Buzz Lightyear, do you need to spend $60 on it? Potentially no. And I could be wrong, right? This could drop and the price of it could go up to like $80, $100, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to stick around retail, maybe drop down to $50 for the ultra rare. And I think the common and uncommon are going to very much be under retail. So again, that's my strategy with this, is just to wait. And I think the next big drop, the prices will settle down significantly on these. And that's when you actually pick them up, because there's no real catalyst to really rally Buzz Lightyear again, right? Unless they come out with another Toy Story movie. I think they're ones that, you know, when someone hops into the app new, they'd be like, oh, Buzz Lightyear, awesome. I love the character, right? Or my kids love the character. So it's something that is, you know, solid value in terms of long term. But unless they come out with a Lightyear 2, which then I wouldn't imagine it doing very well because the first one didn't do well, there's nothing that can rally this character. So more likely spending it on something like a Black Panther, where you knew the movie's coming out later this year, that seems like a smarter move to me for the gems that you could spend on like a common, uncommon Lightyear. So unless you love the character, that's kind of why I wanted to discuss this with you guys. So thanks for joining today, because again, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this and also just kind of talk about, you know, the long-term value of this character overall. Got to say, to infinity and beyond, if you went for the drop, I love it. You got to say it. This is a skip for me. Didn't trust my gut on the Boba Fett drop and took the L on this drop. This will go under retail until we get more mass adoption. May not sell out. I agree, actually. I do wonder if it's going to sell out at all. I think it might be a while. It took quite some time before. Did Woody sell out? I think it did. Pretty sure it did. But yeah, I do agree with you there. And Boba Fett, I went for it and I got a common. My girlfriend went for it and she got the ultra rare and she flipped it for 500 gems. And I was like, dang it, I really wanted it, but I get it. Like, I'm like, you know, I wanted her to like give it to me, but totally get it. And I think it's cool that she flipped it, made some gems, and then she can probably just start flipping on her own and kind of figure out when she wants to make money with it and cash out. So I thought that was actually pretty cool, but that she hadn't gone for a drop in like probably 2 months, and she went for this one and she hit the ultra rare, and it was like 3-digit too. Yeah. After this drop doesn't sell out, they will review how they structure drops. The ultra rare should at least be animated for sure. Completely agree with you, Danny. I think that the way this is a good test case though, right? To that point. So well said, Danny. Do you think there were still going to be a market dump as a whole or a market rise? I think the market's going to dump a little bit more. Personally, just because it's still settling from the KYC thing. And I think we're going to see things start to tick up probably in a few weeks. So I think it needs to kind of shake out some of this weird sentiment, some of the fact that the bots aren't here to kind of pump things up anymore as much. And so I do think we're going to see a little bit more downward movement, and then we're going to start to see things rise again, especially leading up to the end of the year. But it also depends on what they have in store with us, right? If we start to see some more larger drops, some more exciting things, then we could see that. The decon drops that are coming, if you look at the last decon kickoff party drops, they did terrible. So I'm not expecting huge things from these ones, but we'll see what comes out, right? One that I am excited for, and we haven't heard it actually coming with this set, is Mumbot. Mumbot is a massive artist. She's recognized by Coinbase Marketplace. She's recognized by Gary Vee. She's already revealed that she has a drop coming. 4 minutes left to go. And so I'm really curious to see that. Let's get through these. Sniper Paint says, I would love Woody and Buzz on RC car with a rocket. Yes, that would be amazing. Have it hanging out the back of the chimichanga truck. Yo, Taps, good morning. What up? Show me the Omi. Love it. Happy to have you in here. That would be sick to be. Yeah, I think that'd be great to have an RC car and have Woody's arm hanging out of the back of like the chimichanga truck or the DeLorean or something like that. That'd be hilarious. Dude, secret rare and drivable. Yes. Show me the Omi. Show me the Omi. Love it. Sniper Paint correction. Yes. Hands up. I have the Funko Pop. Love it. Taps, good morning. What's up, Daniel Remus? Good to see you, man. Thanks for hopping in here. Pavle, top of the morning to you. Thanks for hopping in. 4 minutes left to go. The movie was a complete flop and got a lot of negative publicity. This thing is going way under retail. Yeah, we did actually discuss that. The fact that it grossed $222 million against a $200 million production budget. And again, grossed, not net. So it did not do well in the box office at all. We'll see how it does on Disney Plus metrics, but yeah, this was not a successful movie, which is crazy. I mean, it's Buzz Lightyear, right? But at the same time, apparently a lot of people didn't like it. Good point, Kidrolla. Maybe there will be a secret airdrop for the cat in the helmet. Maybe, but then again, like, are you going to hold on to that? Or are you going to flip it? Like, I'd rather have the Deadpool dog than I would that cat personally. Interesting which drops they leave the market open for. Did they close the market on this one? Wow, I'm really surprised. Good catch, homie Juan Dahomey. Best card, Batman. It's all about keep each other grounded and not losing money. I agree, Michael. That's why we're talking about this drop, is because I think if you are going to go for it, let me know. Like, do you really think this is that going for a 1 in 8 chance is worth it? And do you think it's going to stay above retail? Because personally, I think it may stay at retail, which means that you're at a net loss because it has an 8.5 selling, but you probably wouldn't sell it, right? 8.5% fee. It could go down to 50 gems. So again, I think that this is one to wait and snag up in the secondary market if you want this drop. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left to go. Bad timing for Buzz, guessing a day or more for it to sell out. Common uncommon would end up in teens. I agree with you, Kryptonite. I think that the common uncommon will be somewhere around $15 to $20, with the ultra rare maybe lower. I'm gonna say 15 to 20. And the ultra will be about 50 to 60 gems in my opinion. Has next AMA been announced? I don't think so yet, but we'll check back. Not the original, not animated, not my Buzz. VV Vibe says, I agree with you, man. Not my Buzz. That's a great hashtag. I love it. Good morning, Taps. Good luck, bud. Thanks, Riley. Good luck to you as well. Chris R. I like the movie. Chris says he likes the movie. So I will be watching the movie probably today, actually. So I'm curious to see what it is like. Again, I'm going to probably snag the common in the secondary market. I do like the ultra rare. I think it looks solid. If it drops down to 50 gems, maybe lower than that, I might snag it in the secondary and complete the set for, less than $100. Fries, Peter says. Fries, we all want fries. 1 minute and 33 seconds left to go. Friends KYC and has been penny for 3 days now. Any ideas? Has been penny? What do you mean? Pending. Got it. Not sure, but they should 100% submit a ticket, reach out to the team via Twitter, do whatever they can. It's supposed to be 24 to 48 hours. So that's over the max, which means they really need it. And I'm sure they already probably have submitted a ticket. So I don't know of any other reason besides tweeting at them to actually help with that, but make sure that they've taken those steps. 52 seconds left to go. Again, I'm not going for this drop, but I'm going to be watching for the secondary market. And I'm curious if that's why the secondary market's closed. If they want to see, if they're expecting this one not to sell out. And so they're going to give it 30 minutes for those who are actually going to receive them to collectively before they have the market open. I'm curious if that's why they chose to not do it. Friends don't let friends buy bad drops. Escape Your Cubicle says, I agree with you. And I don't think this is a bad drop. I just don't think it's, in a bear market, we have to be conservative with our gems. We have to be conservative what we ape into. And so I don't think this is one to ape into personally. And again, not trying to hate on Veve and their choices on this, but I just do think this should have been animated in my personal opinion. Do you think this is the bottom for Omi? It's a good question. Give me 1 second. 4 seconds left to go. We hit. No. So I'm not going to go for it. I only have 104 gems in my balance right now. So we'll see if this sells out at the probably 4 minute mark. We're going to check on that. Again, I don't think it's going to immediately. I think it probably will after about, I don't know, maybe 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, maybe not. And again, their goal is not to sell out everything. They want some inventory for new users. But the thing is too, when a new user comes in, if I was a new user and I went in, I was like, oh, cool, Buzz Lightyear, and I bought it for $60, and then I checked the secondary market afterwards and I saw that I could have got it for $20, I'd be pretty angry. But then also, that's a learning lesson, so nothing you can really do there. So do you think this is the bottom for Omi? So looking at Omi right now, let's take a look. I do think that if Bitcoin and Ethereum and other alts continue to move up, if stock market keeps moving up, if we keep having bullish movement, then I do think Omi will move up as well. And then we have the OUP article, so they're going to need some catalyst to actually come out. And I think that will be some of the big things. But one big fear thing did just happen. One huge piece of FUD that is actually valid, and that is, I'm not trying to talk politics, but Nancy Pelosi, basically the Speaker of the House, actually did basically just choose to ignore our president, try to ignore everyone that was saying this is a bad idea, chose to go fly into Taiwan, even though China was saying, do not do this. There will be repercussions, because they've been mobilizing their forces to invade Taiwan, even though they've been saying that for years and never have done it. They've been like flexing their muscles saying, do not do this. And she went yesterday, flew out of Malaysia directly into Taiwan, and China's basically saying, like, you shouldn't have done this. And so if China does invade Taiwan and then the US sends military response, you have the two largest financial markets in the world now in a skirmish, now in a world conflict against each other. That will, in my opinion, drop the markets. And that would have effect on all crypto, have effect on stocks, have effect on NFTs. And so that one move, again, I'm not a political person. I don't like to talk politics on air like this, but I will say I think that was a terrible move on her part. And I think it could have negative repercussions. We'll see what China does. They could just be flexing muscles again, but man, what a time when we're finally moving back up, when we finally are showing some actual, financial uplift. You do something like that. And there's a lot of talk around too, like her husband having investment in Taiwanese semiconductors. There's just a lot of negativity around it right now. So I do have some fear there. Boom, Juice got the ultra rare. Congrats, and I'm impressed with you for going for it. Well done, Juice. Congrats on your ultra, my friend. So I was able to participate in the drop. That means I'm whitelisted. Yes, you are whitelisted. Let's see if this drop has sold out. Nope. Drop is still going. Let's see how many have been delivered. Only 1,800 of the 2022. We'll check back in and see how many are delivered and how many people went for. I'm wondering if even half will actually have sold out on this one, just because of the negative sentiment on this drop. So I hope that answers your question, Sniper Paint. This market sentiment in the community, it almost the same like before we got Marvel announcement. Of course, there are other external factors, plus whales can't buy gems with crypto. Well said, Milos. Well said. That's 101 gems more than I have. Strucker. Veve will drop what they want. The secondary prices don't matter to them. They are a digital collectible NFT store that uses blockchain technology to create ownership, and I'm cool with that. BFG, yeah, exactly. They want inventory. They're going to just keep going after the next thing, after the next thing, after the next thing. They don't need to sell out everything. They're still burning Omi. They're still coming out with content. It's going to be a massive NFT marketplace, right? And that's going to be something in itself. So well said. But again, that's why we need to be very strategic about what drops we go for and which ones we don't. But Juice hit the ultra, so well done, my friend. 1 million Omi or 1 ETH. At today's price, I would still say 1 million Omi, unless your plan is to swing trade that Ethereum, because I'd say one ETH is safer in the short term if you're going to swing trade it, right? So because we're expecting ETH 2.0 in mid-September, I think that's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event if you haven't already bought Ethereum. And so basically, you could have bought Ethereum at $1,200, and we bought the rumor, right, that it's going to happen September 15th. Now there's going to be a buildup until September 15th. Ethereum could probably go over $2,000 again, could go maybe up to like $2,500. And then if you chose to sell that week of or leading up to it, once the news drops, oh, we're here, it could go up a little bit more, but then it could drop following, because there's going to need to be a lot of build in order for Ethereum to really reach its full potential of having faster, TPS and get to the sustainability mark, to be proof of stake, to have all that effective with ETH 2.0. It's not just it's here, everything's cheaper on Ethereum. It has 100,000 TPS, transactions per second. That doesn't happen overnight. So I do think it'll be a buy there and sell news. But with 1 million Omi happening until September, October, I'm hoping by September we have the OUP article. I'm hoping we have Omi utility. I'm hoping we have some acknowledgement around what's happening there. But that's my 2 cents there. I really want to get at least 700K Omi for 1K. I think that's a good point. Juice, you could have listed in the market to check and save $60. Is it already in the market listed? Good vibes. What is up, Energy? Thanks for hopping in here. Do you think Veve will go back to prices from beginning of this year? Not until the next bull market, not John Polony. And the reason why is because we did have heavy bot activity, and that did fluff up the prices quite a bit, right? It was supply and demand, right? They were gaining a lot on the drops. And so you had to spend a premium, and there was just so much positive sentiment that people were spending crazy amounts back in January and February. So I think it will go back to there, but probably not until 2024, maybe 2025. Do you hold Omi? I hold, that's actually my largest holding by far. Johnny Dunn in the house. Oh, we're getting invaded. We're getting invaded from Johnny Dunn and the Johnny Dunn fam. What is up, Johnny? Did you go for it, Johnny? Let me know. He's hitting us with the aliens. Bro, I remember when you had 3K subscribers. I remember when I had 300 subscribers. I remember when I hit 100 subscribers. I went to my buddy's house. I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. It happened after my first 2 vids, which were stock vids, actually. And then I did an Omi vid, and I remember it just went insane. Like hit 300 subs, it hit 1,000 subs. I was absolutely awestruck, and now we're here today, right? And it's just awesome that so many of you are still here supporting the TapsTrades channel, supporting the community, being a part of it. We started this journey back in March, and we're all still here. Johnny Dunn started at the same time, and I'm just so happy to still be doing this with you guys. Even though the sentiment's down in the fam, in the Veve fam, the Veve markets, we're still here. We're still representing. We're still know that it's going to be an absolute behemoth of a project, and that's why we do this today. Sniper, I did it because I love Buzz Lightyear, and thank you for that, Mike Flower. I think that's really nice of you to add. Sniper, because I love Buzz Lightyear, and CEO was able to participate on the drop and get the ultra rare. Figure I can. I'm happy that you're able to hit it, Juice, and I'm happy that you love Buzz Lightyear and that you got the ultra rare. We're getting invaded. December Bitcoin. What is going on? All of them. Johnny Dunn, thank you for bringing everyone over. All these guys, all the aliens. Hey, Taps, not my Buzz. Thanks for the stream. Thanks, Superstar Money. Hitting us with the stars. Super Rush, boom, Green Goblin. We're getting invaded, folks. Thanks for invading everyone. December Bitcoin, Superstar Money, Johnny Dunn, Super Rush. Thank you. Notice me. Notice me. Skip the drop today, brother. I did too. No problem. We are on the same page, Johnny Dunn. Kurazemi hitting us with the invader. Boom, December Bitcoin. Super Rush. Hi, Taps. What is going on? December Bitcoin. OUP, MCP. Crypto to NFT. Let's go from JDog 2020. That's what I am thinking. Thanks, John Apolony. No problem. I think the OUP article is going to have a large effect on the Omi price, but we need it to come, right? It's been talked about forever. And I do hope it happens this month. I really, really hope it does, because what else are they focusing on, right? It's Master Collector Program. It's Omi utility article. It's continued drops. It's the next event, right? Decon London in September, but that's in September, right? We have an entire month. So I hope that we get the MCP rankings and OUP. I think that would be good. Exchanges. I mean, there's so many different catalysts that we're still waiting on. Other verticals, localization. There's just so much that could come. And it's kind of like now we're like, all right, we got KYC, we got cash out. Awesome. Now what about everything else, right? Like that's always our mentality. We need constant forward movement. Of course, some Bitcoin. We are lucky to have the OGs around to learn history of the Veve market. Yeah, there's a lot of history already in the year and a half that we've been doing this. Yes. Luke, what is going on, Luke? Kurazemi hitting me with those aliens. Juice, forgot you hit the ultra. Good job. Yep, he did hit. Tap for president, you got this. Thank you so much, Tony. JD, told me to alienate it. Yep. You got to alienate your friends. You got to alienate your friends. Life's better, Buzz. Boom, Chris R. The IT guy does hit me with those aliens. What's the best way to buy Omi? Last I did it, had to cash app BTC and transfer to Bitforex and trade it for USDT. And then Omi, is it the best way? I would say the best way, personally, what I've done is I'll use like crypto.com. What I'll do is I'll sell some Ethereum that I have that's in there. You can use it in any exchange and then sell it for USDT. The reason why I do it in crypto.com is because there's no transactions when you actually, if you link your bank account and then you send funds, it takes like, I think like a week. If you send funds, I don't think there's a fee. Double check me on that, on sending funds from your bank account. And then once you have your bank account in there, you can, put $1,000 or however much you're going to do into crypto.com, into fiat, or buy Ethereum. And then you can transfer that into USDT, no fee. However, there is a fee to send that USDT out of there into Bitforex or wherever you're buying it. I use Bitforex personally. And then you can buy Omi with that. I've heard people doing Cash App. I've heard people sending it to KuCoin and then sending it on like a Tron. So that way it's less of a fee to send versus Ethereum. But it's kind of up to you, right? Sometimes wish we wouldn't had that big jump in January because the winners, unfortunately, were the bots. And also, so yeah, Milos, but the fact is it brought a whole lot of new content creators in, a whole lot of new fam in. It changed the game because it's shown just exactly how high we can go as a community. And yes, I do think it was an inflated artificial market, but it still stands the fact that it hit it, right? So I think there's going to be a push to get back up there. And I do think it will be there, but I think it's going to be quite some time, at least a year and a half plus, before we get back to those kind of numbers. But just like with anything, I mean, you look at Bitcoin, you look at Omi, everything's way down. So the moves you do now to get to that point is going to be profit. However, I would say that Omi is a better buy than some of the buys that you can make in the Veve market. Just my opinion. I know it's been wrong for quite some time, but I think that Omi has the most upside potential. And if you are going to be stacking things, make sure you're stacking things that are the big ticket items that rally the most during upward movement times. We just had upward movement time during the Marvel event. You could see that if you purchased any particular like big ticket items like animated Marvel, certain Marvel Mighties, if you bought certain comics, if you purchased certain Disney, they rallied, right? And you could have sold them for profit and then bought them now back in a dip. So there's actually a lot of good swing trading moves within Veve right now. I laid all my eggs in this basket, no portfolio yet, new to investing. Sniper, you got to start somewhere, man. And like, I actually should do a video about diversifying and how to invest in other crypto. It's been a while since I've done another crypto video. I'm very deeply diversified. So I have a lot of different crypto. Omi is my largest bag. My second largest bag is, I think now Ethereum technically, but then it's Cardano. And I have quite a few other altcoins. I still have stocks. I actually did just make a big move of rolling over one of my 401ks into a crypto IRA. And so that is why I actually now have Ethereum that has surpassed my Cardano bag. But yeah, big diversified person over here. XLM has almost no transfer fees. There you go. On XLM Stellar, right? Stellar or Atom? XLM Stellar, I believe. Just Omi. Sniper Paint, correct, said, super bullish on the project, and we see that they learn their lessons with other promise and under-delivered. So from here, we should got only positive updates and news. Can't wait for MCP. Same, Milos. Well said. I stacked 10 rare Thors under $20 each, hoping it moves like Spider-Man. Wow. I mean, I would say that a good time to flip them would have been during San Diego Comic-Con. But if not, then at New York Comic-Con, right? Which is happening in October. And I actually do plan on going to that one. You can buy ETH in MetaMask and swap it for Omi. There you go. Simple. But I mean, right now, the gas fees are so low. So why not? That's actually... What is, it's actually not that low. I just saw 82. There it is. Yeah, super, super low. 20 Gwei. I mean, it would cost you what you send so you'd have a fee to send the OMI out. Or sorry, if you buy Ethereum, you could just buy Ethereum on MetaMask and then just swap it. And you would pay maybe what, like $5, maybe less for this Squay price. So yeah, good point, Super Rush. That's actually probably the easiest way. So good point there. Have they said if OUP will be in Q3? They haven't straight up said that it's guaranteed in Q3, but I believe they did say that we'll be seeing it. Alex said we will get some updates after the artist AMA today. Awesome. That would be great to see. Any updates on thoughts on passive income tasks, perhaps staking, play to earn? I think you tried Axie Infinity before. I did. I actually did do Axie Infinity, and I did it for what, 2.5 months. I made a couple ETH, which is solid. Back at that point, it was, I made over 10 grand and had fun with it. But then I flipped all my Axies, got out of it before I saw the writing on the wall, and took all that and reinvested it. Passive income is difficult, right? I mean, YouTube's technically passive income. I don't make much with YouTube at all anymore just because I don't do it often enough. But there's plenty of things that you can do. Obviously, staking, if you're holding any crypto that you can stake, make sure that you're staking it. For instance, I do have Matic as well, and I'm staking it on crypto.com because I think it has up to an 11% return, obviously over a year. But I've had it staked for like the past 90 days, and then I'll probably just restake it during a bear market. During a bear market, it's the best time to stake, right? Unless you're swing trading. If it's a long hold, stake it, lock it up. Don't look at it until 2024. Keep adding, not financial advice. How would you cash out on MetaMask if OMI goes up? Send that transfer back into Ethereum, send that back to a wallet that's linked to a bank account like Coinbase or KuCoin or Crypto.com, right? That's how you would cash out. Do you think Elsa at $400 was a good buy? I don't know. Again, I think the gold moments, my biggest fear is I'm afraid of certain types of collectibles getting lost as NFT marketplace continues to grow with Veve. So I do think that's a good price for her, but we shall see. Swap OMI back to USDC or ETH to cash out. Yeah, I'd say ETH plus, or use USDC or USDT. Plus, it's on your wallet, so your OMI is safer than on exchange. And it's decentralized exchange. So I'd definitely say that having it in something like MetaMask or a cold storage is definitely safer. My OMI is still on Bit4X. I still have a lot of OMI on Bit4X as well as in Veve. So, it is what it is. Bit4X has never been hacked. I know no exchange is really truly safe right now, but I keep a lot of my OMI in Bit4X in the wallet, not on the exchange. So it's a risk always, but it's a risk anytime it's not your keys, right? Cool. Thanks, Course Juice. So thank you everyone for joining, for talking a little bit about OMI, for talking about Veve, for talking about the market sentiment, for talking about the Buzz Lightyear drop. We did not go for it, and the market is not open yet. We will wait and see how it goes in the secondary market. I'll probably be trying to pick up in the secondary at least a common, and then seeing where the ultra goes to. Again, I think the common and the uncommon will be about $15 to $20 in the aftermarket, and I think the ultra will be about $50 to $60. So thank you all for joining here today. Always fun to join these with you guys. I'll probably be streaming one of the decon or a few of the decon drops. I'm actually excited for the Squirrel Girl comic tomorrow, but probably not going to stream that one. So thanks all for joining. I appreciate you guys. Hit that like button, and I will see you in the secondary market. Have a great